welcome to the show. Union News. Why need twin flames come in union? Mission. So, I thought we were going to talk about this topic because this is one of the secrets of twin flame work that you might not be really conscious of. Why do twin flames need to come in union? Is there a deeper reason for it, and what is it? So, without further ado, I'm just going to give you the answer. It's because mission is taking place when you come together and you share what you have gotten. That divine love in the heart of yourself and of your union together will be shared in mission. And the world hungers for you to do that. So let's go a little deeper on all of that today in the show. The real twin flame work happens on the inside, and then it will guaranteed manifest outside. In this series of lives, I share about what that means for my union consciousness process to inspire you to find yours. It serves as the source for your daily twin flame news. And today on the show we have why need twin flames come in union mission. And let me for a moment explain why we have the possibility to become a paid Patreon member on this and on all the live shows, because you can listen to it and enjoy, and that's just fine. But if you want the content of these shows to spiritually work healing on your union, you invest in the messages. That's how you support your union healing. Money unlocks it. So let's go to the twin flame wisdom of the day. And it is, again, a short statement. Let's read it and then research what it means, and especially in relationship to why are twin flames here? and what is this mission about? So let's see. The world needs your union because they are deeply desiring the healing you represent. So heal yourself first to completion and then contribute. The world needs your union because they are deeply desiring the healing you represent. So heal yourself first to completion and then contribute. I mean, it's actually so simple, but it's really, really true and necessary. You're not yet in twin flame union. You're not yet in the harmonious twin flame union. It is all about that consciousness state that I repeat all the time. That is truly what it is and what you need. And only then the true twin flame comes, the true abundance opens up, energy starts to flow to you with all the resources that you need to be able to execute your mission. It is the only way to have it be peaceful and healed. So that's something to look at when you say, heal yourself first. So you need to go to that consciousness state first. And then when you have it and everything is completed there, you will experience that. I assure you that. There's no misunderstanding about this consciousness state and its completion. When you have that, you can contribute from it. And that's what the world needs. That's what the world needs because you feel that you have done something so concrete and so necessary when you've gone to that consciousness state. You can just feel it in your heart. This is what is life all about, and especially life with your twin flame, life in union, life with God, life with the most meaningful thing that you can do and have and experience in life ever. However much money you collect in one big heap, It doesn't mean anything when you're not in harmonious union. However many lovers you collect on the other side from myself here. Oh, such meaningful lovers, you think to yourself, but you're not in the state of harmonious twin flame union yet, and it means nothing. It doesn't give you a sense of purpose. It doesn't heal your heart. It doesn't feel full in your heart. You don't feel complete in your heart. You feel as if you are in, how did they call that? Liquid sand? How did he call the liquid sand? It's like it's like as if we're now in a in some sort of a cartoon, and like the hero of the cartoon, they slip into this mud stream and they're taken by it to some place somewhere else. That was not the idea. And maybe they're even like eaten alive by it. Yeah. Doesn't really create a rock steady foundation, does it? But with harmonious twin flame union, it does. The world needs your union because they are deeply desiring the healing you represent. When you already go in that direction, that's already such a great thing. I know you will one day arrive, and you will when you do that in the arms of a true teacher, with the right community, in the right program, with the right investment, and you will just arrive. But it's already such a big thing when you genuinely choose to go in that direction. And when you're also going to be educated as a twin flame coach, maybe you're not in harmonious union, the consciousness state yet, but you're going there. And you, on the way there, will be educated as a twin flame coach. Well, then, even more. You already have such a big thing there. It's already starting to be something because you are truly dedicated to it. And this is what I will do, by the way, real soon. I will start educating you, if you want to become a twin flame coach, because the door of the year group course, Twin Flame Abundance Now, will open again on November 1st. Did you know that already? It's like the date will be 111 or 111, 11 and November the 1st. I thought that was a great date to start. And yeah, I open the door again. I have decided to make another group that will meet almost weekly on the Saturday. And that group will have the opportunity without extra cost to also become a twin flame coach. So when you do that, for instance, well, then you are already going so much in that direction and you've committed to that idea, and that already does so much to you that you already start to feel the purpose, and how much the world hungers for what you will be able to share real soon. Because that's the truth of the world. The world hungers for love, especially for twin flame love, which is divine love, which is in the end the only love there is. There really is, because it's not some sort of fake mask that is invented by human beings that deep in themselves actually lack love, but they behave in certain ways that makes us think that we are here seeing a love relationship, tricking us into believing that, but deep down they actually don't have that connection to the source of divine love. No, that's not what that is. Twin flame love is the only love there is, because it has that deeper part filled. And sometimes we see that we get into connection with that deeper love of the divine love, of twin flame love, union consciousness. And we experience that it is full on the deeper level. And then our whole life circumstances, experience starts to change and heal through it, through the fact that you let in that union love, twin flame love, divine love. Yeah, that's what will happen. So in a sense, there are two, maybe you could say, parts of that healing that take place. And one is to become connected to that divine love flow. It's already here, but you need to connect yourself to it. And the other part you could say of that healing is to let it touch you in your body, in the world, in your experience, in your psychology, in your memories, in your brain activity, in your actions, in, well, whatnot, by that deeper love. And that's a whole healing wave that you will experience. Heal yourself first and then contribute. And you will be able to contribute, and it will be so valuable because you are connected to that real source of love. You're not walking around unconsciously begging for love in all kinds of places that are the wrong places anymore. You know that that source of love is in you. And that when you stand into that flow, your twin flame will stand next to you there because you're one in that love in source. And that is going to be the true twin flame. And the world craves it. The world hungers for it. Even though they might not recognize it as such, even though they don't think in terms of twin flame love like you do, even though they already have a partner and they think that's really enough, but it's not their true twin flame, and certainly not in the harmonious union consciousness state. But something's lacking. Something's lacking. And you then know what that is that they're lacking. And you will be able to give it to them. Just by the fact of being yourself, being in that process of having already chosen that. And you become a beacon of love and healing for real. Not for such a silly, superficial idea of love and light to you, love and light to you. But it means nothing. No, something real, something actual. The world needs it. The world hungers for it. And this is really the time at which so many more people all around the world, from all walks of life, are opened up to a new possibility of a deeper love. And when you go first, oh my gosh, will you be able to inspire others and help others and heal others to such a degree that you could become a twin flame coach and even erect your mission business so that you will become a professional at it as well, which just means that you support yourself in the sharing and you make it possible for people to give back. What about that? Sounds like a good idea, right? That's simply what that means. You will be able to go in a direction in the Twin Flame Abundance Now group course that I will open the doors of on November 1st, because I will give that education that you need for that. And it will have everything that you need inside of it. And I'm just looking forward so very much to share that with you. Let's go and have a look at the next part of our show today. And that is going to be ACIM lesson of the day, or in other words, A Course in Miracles. And that is the magic miracle book that the Christ Masters, with whom I co-create the consciousness state of harmonious twin flame union, have indicated as that it contains the material that makes it possible for you to know what union consciousness is. So That's awesome because it's just in a book and it's even for free on the internet. And you can start to look through it and go in the right direction for union consciousness. And then you just still need to do the inner work with the true twin flame teacher, and you can make of that union consciousness harmonious twin flame union before you know it. So that's real awesome. That union consciousness is not yet the full teaching of harmonious twin flame union, but it's really going in the right direction there. So, yeah, that's just awesome about that course. And today's lesson is 288. Let me forget my brother's past today. This is a thought that leads the way to you and brings me to my goal. I cannot come to you without my brother. And to know my source, I first must recognize what you created one with me. My brother's is the hand that leads me on the way to you. His sins are in the past along with mine, and I am saved because the past is gone. Let me not cherish it within my heart, or I will lose the way to walk to you. My brother is my Savior. Let me not attack the Savior you have given me, but let me honor him who bears your name, and so remember that it is my own. Forgive me then today, and you will know you have forgiven me if you indeed behold your brother in the light of holiness. He cannot be less holy than can I, and you cannot be holier than he. Wow. Let me forget my brother's past today. Forgive me then today, and you will know you have forgiven me if you behold your brother in the light of holiness. He cannot be less than holy than can I, and you cannot be holier than he. So relationship is everything. That's what this really is about. The brother can also be a sister. It is just about you and your fellow human beings. How you see them, you see yourself. How you see yourself, you see them. If they irritate you, you know that something is irritating you inside yourself about yourself. When you forgive yourself, you forgive them. When you forgive them, you forgive yourself. And together you can walk purified in the direction of union consciousness, and let that be in the arms of the twin flame teacher, also harmonious twin flame union. That's how we do it. And your brother can be anyone that is walking the road with you to go to twin flame union, students in the group, fellow students to become a twin flame coach. It can be your twin flame itself that is also your brother in a sense, just like anyone else is. And you forgive your brother, you forgive your twin flame, you forgive your fellow student. You forgive your twin flame from what you think they did, but they did not actually do because you projected that onto them and it was something that you did. That's the kind of forgiveness that A Course in Miracles speaks of. It's a different kind of forgiveness than we think we have defined for ourselves in the ego's world. So you forgive them for what they have not done because you understand that it was just a dream, it was just a mistake, it was just a projection. And they didn't actually do it because they are the version of who they are in their own harmonious twin flame union, in the gold consciousness of it all. Just like you actually are that one. And the things you have done are merely mistakes. And when you can do that, you can be in harmonious twin flame union together with your twin flame and in harmony with other people too around that you can share with, that you can then exchange with this love, this peace. That's what it is about. I think this is really awesome. And that is really how you do your twin flame mission. That is how you do your twin flame mission, by going to that place of forgiveness, by allowing yourself to do that together with your twin flame, and then as twin flames together with anyone else. And that's how that love spreads. Exactly like this, and not in any other way. And you all start to walk together in the direction of gold consciousness. You just start this new sort of movement together and start to walk in that direction. And meanwhile, you're just starting up this me economy together in which the self, the deeper self, is the basis and not the world. That's what that is. That's how that goes. That is what mission is. And it's actually natural when you think about it. You're just one in that network in this divine economy, walking all together as a group in the direction of gold consciousness, where the divine is everything and nothing else exists. Well, that's it. And it's heaven on earth there too. You will have a wonderful time on earth. It will be very practical too and just lovely. So that's what's here for twin flames, and that's why you come together with your twin flame, because that mission is what it is about. Otherwise, you don't need to come together with your twin flame, and it makes no sense. Well, it might feel real good, and it does, and it will, but that still is some sort of a selfish reason in a sense. So why does it really make sense? Why is it really purposeful? Because you stand in that mission. So that is your purpose, but I like to say twin flame mission because it makes it a little bit more as if you're really building on it, and that's of course what you're going to do. And I like that. So there you go. Let's move on to a segment of one of my books, because I opened the book to see what came out as an oracle. And here it was. It was something on page 227 of my book, Twin Flames Manifesting Your Abundant Life of Love. And here it goes. 8. From stone to crystal in the heart dimension. The earth is in transition and can be helped greatly by your participation in that transition. This transformation on earth in the bigger scale finds its equal in your personal development, where you can let the transformation fully in. Your personal transformation means to live through and digest everything you are currently in. Every energy you attracted through your actions and circumstances in all dimensions. Digesting your entire field means a total acceptance of your place in the whole and transmuting the mountain of garbage you are completely surrounded by until head level. To the degree you will find only diamonds in your hands in the end. Crystals can help you certainly in transforming this entire earth transformation, including your own part, because they can clean your individual chakras as well as the deeper layers of the earth, where crystals placed into that field can also communicate with each other, as crystals are very intelligent life forms, actually, that can store and communicate big amounts of information. Information in a crystal form can purify other forms by means of their sheer purity, so that unharmonious patterns can be rectified. That is how the field of unconditional love can be restored on all levels, the personal as the energy in and the aura around the body, the earth level as the inner earth energies, and the layer of energy around the Earth's surface. The transition of the Earth is, except from being a natural given, also a deep social change in that it touches how people live together and co create. This is how economical systems will shift as well and autonomously co create instead of all the economic power being in the hand of a happy few that are not able to reside in the hard space while doing their jobs. This is how new waves of migration will occur for pleasant and unpleasant reasons, and these waves will refresh the social cohesion in Earth areas anyway and make them open for new forms of interaction and organization. Old ideals and social behavior will alter. Friends, acquaintances, and family will form themselves differently under the pressure of inner peace coming from the heart. Many love bonds will fall apart before twin flames will find their way to a new kind of marriage. You have seen this transition for some years already, and it will go on many years to come. People are indeed being taken in by this one by one, and our animals too, for that matter, as nothing is excluded. Extraterrestrial influence is also within the equation, although not everyone is aware of this, which can alter easily also in the future for it to become widely known. This is the time of speeding up of change and deepening too, and this period will take some years. You can catch the wave now and move along with it, or resist and be left behind in an old earth version in a way. All the Earths and extraterrestrial life as well is in essence a hologram in a never ending energy space on a very high frequency. The nature of a hologram is that it is a free moving phenomenon and it has an ever transforming power that is free of the laws we think are natural to Earth, such as gravity. At this moment, the hologram of the earth is in the works so that heaven on earth can indeed be established. You are invited to meet yourself and others within that space and experience it for yourself. There we go. And you can buy the entire book on Amazon. I think that just really encapsulates what we had been pointing out and talking to and gives it a little bit more of a context that we see much better where, in what kind of world this mission is going to take place. And twin flames are truly, these beacons of light within this world transformation. So make moving towards your twin flame union part of your personal transformation that you are in. And you will guarantee yourself that you will step into mission, spread the light, and have the most purposeful and meaningful life that could ever exist for you. Yeah, that's what I want for you. Let's go to the cards. I'm very curious what kind of card will come out. The Oracle Guidance of the Day. What kind of cards will we need today for twin flames and their purpose that is in mission? Okay, my hand wandered off to this one, so here it is. D 1.4. And we see the Vesica Pisces, the two intersecting circles with the middle space. That is really the twin flame symbol and the heart symbol, the inner space. A simple yet essential innovation, D 1.4. Let's look into the booklet. What text belongs to it? Just what I thought. Here it is. This is called union consciousness. So, this is also why mission is actually very central to what you want to achieve with your twin flame. Mission is the whole thing, and people don't really understand that yet. It's really an unknown factor as of yet. but it gives you the purpose and it is the reason you come together with your twin flame. So when you start to give attention to your mission, which we will do in the year group course Twin Flame Abundance Now that opens up real soon, because you will become a union coach, so that will be your mission there. That kind of action does attract your twin flame like nothing else. Like on the highway, whew, they will come to you because that is just the energy that you will exude to them through the ethers of the hologram. And they will make their way to you. That's a guarantee. Because that's the whole purpose of coming together with your twin flame is mission. So when you start it, they will come stand next to you and do the lovely journey together with you. All right. And union consciousness, yeah, so that's what that calls in, right? That's the whole point. Union consciousness. Let's read the union meaning, and there's also a mission meaning, and you will read that in the Patreon show notes that I will post after the show is over. The manifestation of simplicity is the full union consciousness. How exactly this looks in the form is not really known. It is foremostly the consciousness that is different, through which the entire situation will be perceived differently. This union gives the truth of being with your true twin flame in a harmonious relationship with Source as checkpoint in between, from which you perceive relationships, business, creations, and so forth, for the value they truly have. This change is a quantum leap relative to your earlier consciousness. The transformation could not have eluded you when you have truthfully arrived. This can bring forward shifts that will not be understood or appreciated by everyone. You may say that you do not need to shift. However, then where is your integrity? In some situations, you will see that no other options are available anymore. It is therefore important to see that these are shifts that will, from a personal perspective, temporarily be experienced as unwelcome, but that the union consciousness from which they originate still makes that they are the best and most loving and social that can be done. You will need to learn now that being not understood indicates the start of from healing codependency, and your source relationship will come to grow and bloom. This will become visible slowly and attract the twin flame, the one true match with your natural being. You have lived through innovation personally until the most grand consequences. You are made to go through it right now, or are on the brink of starting an episode to go deeper in this transformative direction. You are someone that lives union consciousness and acts from it. Your creational power augments enormously from that. All powers of the universe gather behind your soul connected goals for a deeper union. Awesome. Mission really truly is the secret layer of twin flame work. It is a secret because not many people talk about it, not many know it, or seem to know it at least. But it's really true. And logic too, that when you start to become the exuder of twin flame love, divine love, union love from the heart out, and from the heart of your union out between you and your true twin flame, you start to attract them. When you start to become active as someone that desires to share this actively with certain structures and events and programs and services, spontaneous or organized, your twin flame will want to be with you. If you touch that true frequency of your union, if you do it from your real connection with that divine love that makes up your union, you just call them in. That is a law. It's a spiritual law of twin flames. It is normal. It is logic. There's nothing more logic than this. If you step forward into that love and start even spreading it after you first, don't forget this, let yourself be part of that love. Step into it, heal inside of it, wear it like a piece of a garment, a piece of clothes. Let that love spread over your body, over your daily life, over your schedule, over your goals. Let it touch you. And then from there on out, when your heart is full and your daily life is transformed by it, you start to spread it. You step forward, you step into it, you step forward. You start to say, okay, Divine Mother, I know you give me my union. I know this divine love comes from you. I am willing to step forward because you say so, because you back me up. I am willing to step forward and stand there on the internet, on YouTube, on social media, in your friends group, in stranger groups. I don't know where that is, but somewhere. And I'm willing to be, well, whatever, like the odd one out that believes and whose heart is full and that shares, full of unconditional divine love, that shares thoughts about twin flames, what they are, how you should do things to get closer to that reality, that are in line with that truth and that true vibration. I'm willing to do that. Well, don't you think that that attracts your very twin flame? God sees all. Divine Mother knows that you're doing that. She's backing you up. She's sending even more of that union love to you. Logic, you need it to stand there, to be there, to have presence, to have value, to spread it, to exude it from your heart, to let it flow into conversations that you have with other people, into videos that you're making. She needs to send you more of it. Yeah, and it attracts your twin flame too. Kind of logic, so logic, dang. Secret of twin flame union. Step into your mission, and they will, in a haste, in a hurry, come stand next to you. Because that fulfills that entire image. That just makes it complete. That just makes it have all its complementary parts be there. Which is logic that attracts that all these complementary parts, right? When you say, I step forward because I stand for that, I stand for nothing but the whole, the divine whole, how we're created, how everyone is created, how my blueprint is on that deeper spirit level. That's what I stand for. That's how I step forward. Sheer logic that all these complementary parts come stand around you, next to you, and I don't know, whatever complementary parts you have in spirit. Well, for the very, 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 very most, that is just only your twin flame and you, right? So don't worry. It is logic. They will come stand next to you. They will feel attracted to do that. but it will feel naked for you. It might feel scary. Maybe you're so afraid to do something like that. It's just like unbelievable. Like, never, like you want to hide, you want to run away, you don't want to do it. It feels so scary. I'm not going to show myself. It's much too vulnerable. Maybe you learned to hide when you were a child. Maybe you learned to close your heart as a child because it was not safe to open it and to show what you want to share because it was just slapped down within seconds or minutes by malicious parents or I don't know what or whom. And you learn to close your heart, to not do it, to not stand for yourself. Maybe you haven't even learned to have agency, like the stepping forward is not going to happen for you because you have been programmed or like brainwashed also often by like our natural leaders as small children is often starts right as like our parents and carers and teachers and whatnot, our direct environment, maybe unwittingly, but still that's often where it does start. There's no mistaking about that. Psychology says so, and that's a science taught at universities worldwide. Maybe that was like the hidden message that you can't even step forward autonomously, that you have been programmed. Social programming happens for every child, and when it's particularly malicious, the kind of programming that you've undergone, well, you might start to say that it was brainwashing and it was because it was negative too. Like, you can teach a child to sabotage themselves. That is certainly within the possibilities of rearing a child. And it is disgusting, but it also happens a lot. It happened to me. I was not allowed to step forward. I was not allowed to question why there was only this very restricted area that I was allowed to grow into, that was not allowed to outgrow my mother. And if I did, she would need to latch onto me as a leech and suck me dry of the energy that was now meant for her life force somehow. Or she would need to push me down so that I fitted into that very restricted area again. That was the only area I was allowed to be autonomous in. Some people don't teach their children any life skills, not how to be social, not how to do daily life tasks. That's also very narcissistic, just like my mother was. And you feel completely handicapped as a grown up. Sometimes you feel completely into victimhood and into like I can't do anything, or of like normal daily life. I will take responsibility for a certain task and step forward and have just my leadership in a very normal daily life kind of sense. And you will meet all these things when you step forward with your mission. Not wanting to be seen, unable to make autonomous stepping forward actions, um, unable to be vulnerable to the degree of the depth of your heart, the heart of your heart that you share with your twin flame and twin flame union. Be led by spirit, be led by divine mother, while doing so that you not only step forward and say, "Hi, I'm here to present something about twin flames," but you actually do all of that and whatever you're going to say by opening yourself to the guidance of divine mother and just let it flow. And when you start to do twin flame mission, you will experience all your blocks in all these areas. And the beauty of it is Stepping into twin flame mission is something that just touches on all aspects of life that are also normal daily life aspects of anyone, because anyone will be seen on the street, in their home, in a relationship to their twin flame. Anyone will need to be vulnerable and open about what hurts them and what is going on inside of them when you want to have any relationship, even with your, I don't know, roommate or something, or with your twin flame. So these are also topics that touch anyone in any moment. It touches your entire life. But twin flame mission makes it specific, and twin flame mission makes it ultimate. Twin flame mission makes it an anchor to anchor your entire union inside. It makes it an invitation for the consciousness state of harmonious twin flame union to come join you. What about that? Because that is the real thing that twin flames need. I've talked about this in all my videos. Almost all my videos are about the fact that you need harmonious twin flame union, the consciousness state. And that is just the foundation of it. And that is what you need. That is everything you need. End of story. Many people still don't believe it, or they don't hear what I say. But that's really what that is. So, of course, we invite the consciousness state of harmonious twin flame union as the space, as the bubble, as the frequency in which you step forward for twin flame mission supported by Divine Mother. In which, by the fact that you do that, your twin flame will stand next to you, because that's the natural completion of that whole picture. That is the space in which all of that takes place, for sure. But what about this scenario? You starting to step forward, sharing the divine love of twin flames, supported by Divine Mother as much as you can allow yourself to be supported there. While doing that, calling in A, your twin flame, B, the consciousness state of harmonious twin flame union that will form as this beautiful, sacred balloon in and around you, and your twin flame. What about that? Just an idea. I think this is awesome. This is what's going to help you. You can become this twin flame union coach. That simply only starts with, I'm going to step forward and be vulnerable and honest about this deep desire that everyone on the earth actually feels and has. Although people have forgotten it, they pressed it down, they don't want to know it yet. But everyone feels it deep down. And the world is ready to hear more about this. But it just starts with you feeling that this is true for you and becoming aware and willing. That's it. That's it. I know we can also talk about how do you become a mission business owner, and how can you attract prospects that become clients, and how do you do online marketing and social media games and whatnot, and how can you make the journey of your clients be the best one ever, and how can you invent programs for them so that they feel supported on all sides, moving forward indefinitely, and how can you make a living out of that, which is actually not more than normal when you help people, that you ask for energy back so that you can also support yourself while you support other people. That's why we use money. I understand we could talk about all these aspects, about the mission business. And this is also what you're going to do later on. Later on. And I have a full 360 degrees business course inside the Twin Flame Abundance Now year group course that opens again on November 1st for you, for that aspect too. But for many people, that will be a little bit later on, that really opens up as the way to support yourself with structures. That's what business is. Many people think, oh, business, oh, that's scary. It just means that you support yourself with structures at a time when that is appropriate for you. Probably, possibly later on. But now, in the beginning, it is really only about the willingness. And do you feel that in your heart? Do you feel this possibility in your heart? Do you feel the potency of, yes, I could step forward? Even if it were only as if that is like a mentality change inside yourself. I open myself up for the possibility to be whispered in by spirit about what they want me to do, where they want me to potentially open up my heart, only as like a silent gesture that you open your heart up, not even talking per se. That could be a beautiful second gesture. Do you feel that? And do you feel that by doing that, you start to invite the very energy, the very connection that you want for yourself, the very frequency that is conducive for your harmonious twin flame union to come into being indefinitely? Do you feel that? Do you feel that longing in your heart, the desire to be filled up from the inside out by the frequency of divine union? And then be filled up by that to such a degree that when you are fully filled up, it just starts to leak out of your body, an energy body, and share itself. And sometimes I talk about don't leak your energy, right? Your energy does belong to you and your twin flame in your union, in sort of that egg. And now I say it as if mission is just going to leak out of you when you're full of being filled. Well, and there is a tension between these two ideas, and that is actually the very reason that you start to help yourself and the world with business structures, for instance, or structures in general, so that you can also choose that, this is a situation in which I can share in this kind of way. And that is a situation in which I don't share because I'm not going to leak my energy. So that's how you could deal with that. But the holistic movement is you will be filled up and then you start to sort of overflow, right? The cup becomes full and then overflows. Oh yeah, and there's also something interesting that someone, a student in my school, just made me realize this, that you can be so incredibly full of being filled of the mission energy, the twin flame mission fulfillment. But it might be that you don't yet have an enormous amount of energy or money or numbers in your bank account. Everything needs to start somewhere. And that is good enough. It is about the movement that you're setting in. And it is about truly doing that with the right intention and the right kind of alignment with the true thing. In my case, for instance, when that all came into being, and I was in 2020 in March in harmonious twin flame union, 3 months after I came in union with my true twin flame, And all questions were at once suddenly completely answered. And I loved that. And it was just, what a celebration. It was just, oh, and the peace that came over me, the peace, indescribable. Anyway, but I stepped into my mission too. But the first things that for me happened were I was going to work out. Well, God said this, right? I didn't know that I was going to do this, but God knew. So, he just whispered in my ear, and there we go. It was like this unmistakable direction, and there you go. And I was taking in a direction. It was just all happening. But in the eyes of the world, that can look different than what you might think. I was not like a millionaire all at once. Actually, what happened was that my living below zero financially, for instance, but you could hold the same reasoning for your health or your, I don't know what, or your twin flame love or relationship. But let's for now keep it at the money. I was like going from like tens of thousands below zero to approximately around about around zero. And that was the first movement that we were doing. And then the student recently said to me, well, so you don't have anything yet. What can I learn from you? Well, so like tens of thousands to zero, that just means nothing to you. I spent 500,000 on my journey. And I gladly did that. And that means nothing to you. It's like nothing. So don't you think that I'm going in the right direction? Still living in my own bought home, having a beautiful daily life in which I completely healed my body, and I feel tremendously good in harmonious twin flame union, in contact with my true twin flame. Like, you must be kidding me that you think that there's nothing happening here. But maybe for you, maybe for you, it's I would completely be on your side when you say, well, but I'm standing up for mission right now, and I already have 300,000 in my bank account, but I want to grow towards 3 million. And what do I say? 30 million. That's where I'm going. And and that would be also in the right direction, and that would be also completely possible. So, and I would completely support that for you. That's what I'm here for. I'm also here to make this all easier for you and much more reachable, and in a fraction of the time than I did it myself. You know, I took decades and lifetimes to figure this out, but now it's all figured out and it's free, and I'm just sharing, and I'm standing in my twin flame mission, and everything's clear and everything is shining out of me, and the helping of people has begun. Now I see that my students, in fact, take months for what took me years or decades. And this is literally what I found, that when someone came to me, and from that moment on, it took someone 4 months and 4 days to go to harmonious twin flame union. Well, that's really something else than 3 decades and 500,000 euro. So I'm all for that. I'm all for you doing a much better job than I did. And in practice, we have seen that that works for my students. And I'm so happy for that. It is just a complete testament of the power of this work. And whatever is good for you will happen for you. But it all starts with the very same that I started to discuss in this video a little earlier. It all starts with you allowing yourself to make a stance in mission. Understanding that you call in your harmonious twin flame union consciousness state that everyone needs, and your true twin flame to stand next to you. And this being the secret pillar of twin flame work that nobody understands. But now you do, and you are invited to come work that out to completion with me in the Twin Flame Abundance Now year group course, special edition for Twin Flame coaches to be, that opens up on November the 1st, 2025. Follow me on social media and you will learn everything about it. I hope to see you soon inside of it. Much love from Petra. And we are going to also, of course, how could I almost forget, close this show off with the beautiful formula. I choose now to explore the most complete depths of my being. I surrender my mind completely to God that He may bring it into perfect harmony with His. I invite God now into my very core that He may make it right, returning it perfectly to its state of eternal wholeness. I trust in the power of divine love. I choose to see the truth that it is universally accepted by all. At the core of every child of God, including me, we're all one with our twin flames and God. It is safe for me to open completely to love now. My love. Love is not elusive unless you command it so. But don't worry, you could not choose against love itself because you are love itself, manifest as you eternally. If you command it to leave, love does not leave because it is it cannot possibly leave. But you can leave love by the power of your command. And by that same power, you can command yourself to return to love. And it is so revealing to you that love never left. It is safe to let go. It is safe to relax into love's eternal presence. Love is calling you home, and I'll be there waiting. I have always been here with you, and I always will be. Your next step. Don't forget to actually start the process and jump on the team. Actively come to our community, start doing the correct inner work, and ask the support you deserve through our services so that we can start the relationship that will lead you to harmonious union and beyond. When you're not in a relationship, you're not on the team, and you can't expect the results I'm speaking of and, in fact, guaranteeing. Currently, we are going towards the opening of the door once more to Twin Flame Year Group Course Twin Flame Abundance Now, a new version especially for those that want to become a union coach and make your own money. I am looking for 6 people to step into this abundant opportunity, and the door opens on November 1st. You can already have a look at creativeuniverse.earth/abundance now launch. The show notes. You can, however, support this ongoing live Twin Flame news as such. Make it possible as co-creator. Without your participation and financial gifts, I cannot do anything because we need to have an energetic and verbal visual exchange for things to make sense and to know what I need to talk about for you. And also, we're on Earth, and that necessarily always works with money as a means to make sacred content actually physically flow. Therefore, I post the show notes in Patreon. Come over and enjoy. Have influence on the broadcasts and don't miss out on the behind the scenes experience. Patreon.com/PEJ at Creative Universe. October's Patreon subscriber action is the Master's reading wants to be taken up by you at this time. A very special service by the Christ Masters of this new Twin Flame times. I'll be able to grant you a piece of invaluable inner work advice for your journey. Info is at creativeuniverse.earth/reading. Normal price is €88. Special October Patreon price is €44. Please let me personally know and I'll give you a pay link. I am Petra, in the consciousness state of harmonious twin flame union since March 2020. Worked with the new Christ Masters on Earth right now to roll this consciousness state out so everyone can enjoy the abundant life with their true twin flame soon enough. After going in with me right here. Don't search any further. You reached what you were looking for. Om Amen.